This has been a huge failure on my end, as here I was for the last decade and a half saying over and over, alright, this is breaking. The Australian Liberal Party has misspent money in Wagga. I mean, where was the oversight? That could have been much better spent upgrading the highway in Cootamundra, or at the very least polishing the big Merino's nuts. In fact, I am not resting until I can see my face in those nuts. Anyway, who wants a Subway? This is a theme I'm obsessed with. Not as much as trying to figure out if Conan's side host was a fat ventriloquist dummy or a man. I'm still trying to figure that out in my own time. But this is a new discovery that the Liberals are turning this country into, and we really need graphics to emphasise this point, police state. There you go. Pre-done effects if I ever get caught on random breath test.
Oh, and crumble me, man, or down down the road, pick up this
police state. Now, I'm the first to admit there are upsides to a police state. SWAT teams do look cool. I do like the idea of living in a future where if you're 10 minutes before curfew, an armed drone starts following you saying, move on, move on, move on, move on. And I want to make this very clear too, this is not a beat up on cops. Although I look like one of those gangly little Antifa c***s, I hate how the youth demonise these crucial public servants that do the thankless tasks of investigating dangerous crimes, checking on the most unstable members of our society, and filling their quotas up by waiting to nab someone at the bottom of a hill. Also, they still know how to ride horses, and that in this day and age is a carefully guarded secret by rich 12-year-old girls and leprechauns. The cops that do the usual stuff of...
Slow down. Who's been stealing your thoughts?
I don't have beef with them. I'm talking more about the people who do steal your thoughts. I've been looking into the Department of Home Affairs. It's a super portfolio that merged all the federal policing and spy agencies into one secretive shadow government that, you do have to admit, it is perfect that this shadow government was created by this man. I know the meme's stale, I know it's BuzzFeedy, but you got to admit, he does look shadowy. No wonder everyone in the Department of Home Affairs wants to neck themselves. You would too if you had to get job appraisals from... Why don't you want to come to the team building picnics, Billy? Is it because they're down there? Look at what this Shadow Emperor has created. Home Affairs is even more of a coagulated behemoth than those KFC Taco Bell shops. ASIO, Federal Police, Cyber Security, the Attorney General's Department. Rumour has it that's why Tuck Fryer resigned. He realised that with the creation of this department, the Office of Attorney General is now just a rubber stamp for Home Affairs, which has become the Justice Department under the one man that gives a whole new meaning to Judge Dredd. Ever since Home Affairs was created, Australia started seeing things like the journalist raids and turning the ASD, which they swore black and blue was only to spy on foreigners, which fair enough. Look at him. What's he got to hide? Man goes. But then they started using the ASD to spy on us. There was also the cybersecurity strategy, which was essentially Dutton saying, "Hey Turnbull, you know how you allowed me to combine all these powers so you could stay on as Prime Minister for a nanosecond longer?" "Yes, and I enjoyed every octosecond of it." "Well, all that funding you put in for innovation is still going towards innovating. Just innovating ways to spy on everyone." "No, I don't see any need for that, and gigads!" That's the Liberals for you in a nutshell, isn't it? Crippling science and research unless it's science and research to spy on you. It's exactly what I want my tax money going towards. Me paying for someone to watch me do my secret shame of dressing up in a dress and singing Christina Aguilera's I Am So Beautiful while crying.
I'm just glad someone finally gets to see it. Ah!
We are now some of the lowest research and development spenders in the OECD. It's completely eroded our edge that we had under Labor in multi-trillion-dollar industries like sustainable agriculture, aquaculture, renewable technology. They didn't invest in fidget spinner butt plugs. That was a multi-trillion-dollar industry that had a hole waiting to be filled. But I'll allow that slip in judgment as the alternative under the Liberals is billions upon billions gutted from science while billions upon billions are pumped into the AFP, ASIO and the ASD. Meaning guess where all the nerds in this country are going? Because it ain't Games Workshop, they lost their research grants. They're going into cybersecurity. This former journo I know had this great sad anecdote that really gave me a crystal clear image of exactly what's happening in this country. He was talking to a genius scientist. This is his old CSIRO photo. There he is, casually hacking his own brain, and under Labor he was paid to use his mighty brain to save brain corals. He was paid to develop complex algorithms to try and predict when and where corals would spawn in order to help the reefs survive in the age of climate change. Which I don't know about you, but I'm really glad my money was going into that. Or I would have been. I'm pretty sure I wasn't paying tax at the time. I was on the dole. Anyway, as soon as the libs got in, immediately science got decimated. Anyone that was doing anything remotely helpful towards the environment, axed. And you know what happened next? One of these ASIO types came up to him and said, "Hey, heard you lost your job. We heard that you were also mapping how corals spawn. Maybe you could be using those same algorithms to start tracking people's thoughts online." Did you know that Home Affairs is now trying to pass something called the Identify and Disrupt Bill? This will allow government agencies to modify and delete data, collect intelligence from online communities, and even take over online accounts of supposed criminals. We're supposed criminals. At the time of writing this, I think I still have an arrest warrant on me. That means that they could legally hack Friendly Jordies accounts, pretend to be me, try to entrap others with it, and here's the scariest part. Doctor evidence. As experts like Angus Murray from Electronic Frontiers Australia states, check them out, they're doing very important work, they're trying to stress that there's nothing in this legislation that stops them from doing that. And if there's nothing that stops them from doing that, they will. They've proven time and time again they will. Home Affairs will argue, as they always do, that they're just doing it to stop pedophiles in China. Funny that, because they've said that about the past 100 pieces of legislation that has or is being passed in the name of national security, apart from back when terrorists were in vogue, but now China's the boogeyman du jour. And it's the same trick every time. The laws are written in such a way that terrorist basically means anyone that pisses them off. We're going to be hammering Tom Hartman's point a lot in the coming months, that when oligarchies gain power like they did here in 2013, they immediately start turning the nation's public institutions against the public. And then when the public starts to notice that, they ramp up police spending and begin to start passing laws like these, thinly veiled to protect you from foreign threats, when in reality, they're there to protect them from you. Tom points out that it's the same cycle all throughout history. And I didn't even think we were at that stage. But evidently we are. The difference is we're nearly 40 years past 1984. Now we have the 2020 cybersecurity strategy. There's no need for thought police. They've got their own thought algorithms now. George Orwell could only begin to imagine the technology that is now at the disposal of the coalition, let alone the spy networks that they're creating, which they can use however they'd like, and they do, because Australia is no longer an encroaching police state, it is a police state. It's just that it's not in your face, which is a much more effective way, as it gives you the illusion that it's a free country. You can still criticise the government, as long as your criticism isn't effective. If it is effective, they have a myriad of devices that they will use to shut you up like they did Witness K, which is why, just in case, subscribe. And remember, Peter Dutton can share you while you're having a wank. See you next time, folks.
Please share and comment below. Comment.